Whenever I hear about entrepreneurship, freedom, courage, and passion are the terms that come to mind. To start your own business, you can get inspired by many things. Maybe you are passionate about something, and it has been your dream since childhood. Maybe you don't want to work under someone and wish to be your own boss. Maybe you got inspired by our Prime Minister's words and wish to open your own fritters shop. The reason could be anything. I will tell you everything from start to finish that you need to know to start your own business in this video and become an entrepreneur in India. Let's see. So friends, the first step to starting your business or startup is to know exactly what you wish to do. What's your idea? Many people think they need to come up with an idea that no one has ever thought of. But according to me, that's a wrong way of thinking. There are two reasons for this. First, there is a very slim chance of thinking of an idea that no one else has ever thought about because there are more than 1 billion people in the country. So the chances are very low. The second and more important reason is that starting a business with no established customer base, no source of revenue, and no trial and error or experiment to understand the revenue and problems that might arise is very risky. So, I would recommend not thinking of an idea that no one has ever thought of. Instead, think about what you enjoy doing. Here, I recommend focusing on two things. First, your passion. Your interest, what you like to do. How can you provide value to people with your work? And how can you benefit people so that they will pay you in return? Once these two things are clear, look for businesses that already exist and align with these two things. Then study what kinds of businesses are already in the market and how they operate. For example, if you love adventure sports like river rafting, that's the first thing. Then the second thing is how you can benefit people. Here, you can start an adventure sports company. If this satisfies you, then look at what kinds of adventure sports companies already exist in India, how they function. Study them, call and ask them about their business, and study their business model. The next step after this is to create a business plan. Suppose you are starting your business from tomorrow. Then prepare a budget report for the entire year from tomorrow until the end of the year. How much money will you need to start the business? How much capital and investment will be required throughout the year? What will be the expenses? And what profit will you gain? Where will you get the required capital and money? Will you borrow from your friends, ask your family, or take a loan from the bank? Start a business where you don't need to take a loan from the bank or any third person. Start a business where your family can afford the initial investment, because if you get into banks and your business fails, then you will have to face significant losses and many problems. So think of a business where you can invest yourself, and you have the capital, or your family or friends are ready to give you that amount. I'm suggesting this for the initial stage. Once your business is established, then you can think of taking a loan to move it to the next step. This way, the risk can be minimized. You can borrow money from anywhere, friends, but the business plan you have made for the year should be as detailed as possible so that investors are convinced that this business will work and that they won't incur any losses but will gain only profit from it. Now that you have made your 1-year business plan, we can move on to the next step. The next step is to register your business with the government. According to the type of your business, there are different ways to register it. These different ways are called business entities. I will not be able to tell you all of them, but I'll tell you the main ways. The first, the oldest, and the easiest way to register your business is sole proprietorship. Proprietorship is a way to register your business where you are the business owner. Whatever profit or loss the business incurs will be your own profit or loss. In a way, you are personally liable for everything that happens with the business. Small business owners like shopkeepers use this method and register their shop as a sole proprietorship. If you want to become a fritters vendor, then you will register your business as a proprietorship. There are many benefits of proprietorship here. The government regulations are minimal. To register your business as a proprietorship, you have to go to the local authority. If you live in a city, then you have to go to the municipality. And if you stay in a village, then to the Gram Panchayat. This is available online in a few cities but not in others. It will cost around 1000 rupees and 1-2 days to register. But also keep in mind that you may be asked for a bribe as you are visiting the local authority. And you know the scenario of our country. So be prepared for this. You can apply for proprietorship only if your company is small scale and employs no more than 4 people, as it becomes very risky if it's on a large scale. Imagine your company is worth crores, and you incur a loss in crores, then it will be your own loss of crores. You would not want this, hence, in this case, you should not do proprietorship. If you want to keep your profit and loss separate from the profit and loss of the company and want to keep separate legal entities, then there are different ways to register. Another way is called OPC, one person company. Here, you are not personally liable if something happens to the company. So they can't come to your house and ask you to leave your house or car to repay against the failure of your company. The registration cost for this is around 6,000 rupees and may vary in different cities. It will take 8-10 days to get registered, and since this is a one-person company, you will have to be the director and shareholder of this company. Once you have registered your company as OPC, if your company's name is Chai Kara Pakadwala, then it will be Chai Kara Pakadwala Private Limited, with OPC in brackets. The next way to register your company is as a private limited company. Here, a minimum of 2 shareholders and 2 directors are required. The maximum limit of shareholders here is 200, and if you want more than that, then you have to make a public limited company. So as the name suggests, private limited is limited in the same way as one-person company is limited. There is limited liability here, so the shareholders have limited liability. So if there is a loss in the company, the shareholders won't have to pay for the loss personally. It's a very reputable and credible way to register your business. If you do so, the trust of customers and clients on your company and the trust of banks increase manifold if your company has private limited written. Many startups register their company as private limited or try to do so as it's easier to get loans from banks, and also the seed funding. The investors investing in the company becomes easy. The cost of this is around 7,000 rupees, and it takes between 5-10 days to register. Since this is very trusted, the regulations by the government also increase, but towards the end of this video, I will tell you an easy way to register your company. Another way to register your company is as a limited liability partnership. This is useful when you are a professional in a field like doctors, engineers, or chartered accountants. This is useful when you are forming a company for a limited time and you are going to dissolve it afterward. For example, you are a builder, and you started a company to construct a building where you have employed the workers, engineers, architects, but after the building is constructed, you don't need that company, so you dissolve that company. Here, this limited liability partnership comes into use. These 4 ways which I've told you are the main ways, and most of you will require these. You need to know that if you want to deal with the corporate field or large companies, then the preferable way is private limited only. If you want to keep your own small business and don't want to get into more regulations, then proprietorship is the best way. So friends, you have registered the company, and the next step is to do the tax registration. GST registration is number 1 here. If your company's turnover is more than 20 lakhs in a year, then you have to register for GST. In some northern states, the minimum turnover is 10 lakhs. And GST registration is also required if you deal with import-export even within the states or if you have a business related to e-commerce. If you have an import-export business, then you also need to get import-export code registration done. In some states, there's a different kind of tax called professional tax registration which you have to get done if you reside in such states. If you have more than 10 employees in your company, then you have to get employee state insurance registration done, and if you have more than 20 employees, then you have to get even Provident Fund registration done. There's an optional registration called MSME. This is not compulsory, but you will get many benefits if you do it. As the last step, friends, I would like to tell you that there are a few things which a business has to do every year. It is yearly mandatory compliances. The first thing is income tax returns. Every business has to file income tax returns at the end of the year. The second thing is accounting, which you need to do, and I would say you must do it with care. It's a balance sheet where all your profit, loss, money received, etc., is recorded. You can hire an accountant for this, or if your company is small, you can do it yourself. If you are registered for GST, then you have to file GST. It is monthly or quarterly compliance. Next is secretarial compliance, which you have to do if your company is OPC, LLP, or private limited. Statutory audit you will have to do if your company is OPC or LLP with a yearly turnover of 40 lakhs or more. And speedbiz.com can help you with these yearly compliances as well. So, friends, now you are ready to become an entrepreneur and start your own business. Towards the end of the video, I would like to give you some tips from my personal experiences, because somewhere even I am an entrepreneur, and you can call my YouTube channel a business too. My number one tip will be always to think about how you can provide value to people, to give value to the customer, client, or society. For example, Jagdish, through his website speedbiz.com, provides value from his services. The business-related work he does for you provides you with value. I provide value through my knowledge, and you gain knowledge after watching my videos. A fritters vendor provides value through his fritters, how tasty they are, and how much you enjoy eating them. So, all businesses provide value, and if you focus on value, then your business will run well. And somewhere, I feel value can only be provided when you enjoy working. So only do business where your interest lies and you enjoy working. And lastly, there's no point in doing a business that operates unsustainably and leads to destruction. I'll give you an example of Adani's business, where he was making a coal mine on the Great Reef and affecting natural resources. There was no benefit to it. He said it would generate employment and more electricity, but due to such destruction, who will like his company? No one will respect such a person, so stay away from such businesses. So, I hope, friends, you have gained a lot of knowledge and learned a lot from this video. If you like the value from this video, then you can donate to me on patreon.com/jifrathi.com, as that's my business model. Share this video, and we'll meet in the next one. Thank you.